Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're the Gamers DMZ, back for another Thursday. So, I got me, Jazzy Moto. Then we have Megalixer.
What's up?
And then follow Mr. OG Double M.
How y'all doing this evening?
And then we got Sir Rich.
What it, what it?
And then last but not least, we have the one.
Or the least does not last, whatever you
The
choose to
leastest.
call it.
The hostess with the most. The host with the
The
most.
hostess with the mostest. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for
Beetlejuice.
joining us. Oh, Lord have mercy. Thank you for joining us this evening. Thursday, rainy day in Chicago, but nevertheless, again, thank you guys for joining. Hopefully, everyone is having a great week. That being said, let's start it off with a couple of things of saying, what have you guys been playing this week? Let's start off with the lady who opened up. Jazz, what have you been playing?
Uh, I have been playing. I actually got back to Starfield, so been playing
That's
that.
that's great.
Yeah, I went back to the first planet, and I was like, nah, let me not get sidetracked, because I know there's 50 bajillion things. So, what else? Skyrim, and da 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 da. What else is I playing? Dark Souls 2, a little Elden Ring, and I know there was something huge I'm forgetting. It'll come back to me. Oh yeah, and more Counter Strike too. I was playing that over the weekend.
You and that Counter Strike. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
mad at
growing on
you.
me. It's
Okay.
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah. Versus the old one, I was kind of mad that it replaced it, clear out, but it's growing on me.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it.
Beat anything? Beat
Um,
anything?
no, not
Okay.
yet.
Let's go with Mega. What have you been playing, Mega?
I've been playing Mega Man X3 and I almost beat that game, but I can see
You,
myself beating it
I thought it doesn't
next week.
almost how did saying go almost only counting horseshoes? So you ain't beat it, right? So we not worried about what
No,
you
not
almost
quite.
beat.
Shoot names.
Okay. What else did you play?
Um, that's actually it, really.
That's it. I guess you're preparing for college. Okay. Uh Serge, what you play?
I was up in Destiny and Diablo and some Call of Duty.
Yeah, you and I played.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you and I played. What Friday? It was
Mm-hmm.
Friday night. You and I played Diablo. Yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
had. Yeah, I
I'm
remember that.
Unreported now.
Yeah. Oh, were you rolling? You 44 already after the reset?
Mm-hmm. I'm
Dang,
on that same
the
version.
character. Yeah, man, you
I
rolling.
almost beat the boss, but I got tired and had to go to sleep.
Oh, I don't. I understand that. All right. What else did you play?
I think that was it.
Okay.
Playing them
Uh,
long-winded games.
I know, right? And take you out. And take you out. What about
uh,
double?
Oh, I play. Let me see. Of course, Starfield. I'm almost through the campaign,
Dang,
but
I
Oh
know
hey,
you.
wow,
nothing.
nice.
You were sending out some stuff about the game, so I know you were playing it like crazy.
Yeah, but shoot, I got to get a better pilot's license, man. I suck. I
What
gotta
is your
black belt.
pilot's license? What's your pilot?
I don't know.
Oh my God!
you
You
know,
should
That
do it. You
bad,
should do
huh?
it. You better. You better go in that flight simulator and start taking down some.
been telling y'all about that
Yeah,
damn flight simulator. I've
you
been
better go
saying
in
it
that.
from jump.
You better go in that flight simulator and level up.
Because after I jumped on the ship and couldn't take it, I was like, man, I
Yeah,
gotta learn how to level
yeah.
it up immediately.
Yeah, immediately. That flight simulator helps. Trust and believe that
It's
flight
quick.
simulator
You don't
helps.
die. You ain't got to save. You just go, hey,
Ain't nobody gonna shoot at you.
they shoot at you.
Bad.
It's just VR.
Yeah,
Instead of actually getting shot and dying.
Oh yeah, I stole my first ship, y'all. I'm at the
it
13.
was
I
just.
did that last night, and
Nice.
it was unintentional. I was like, "What's this? What
Oh,
is it?"
oh no.
Oh,
Yeah,
You
look at
know,
the
it's
You
villain by
walk,
this.
you
accident.
walked into it,
I
huh?
walked into it and it's mine now. It's nice.
Yeah, the good part of stealing the ship is that you have to be sneaky about it. Because once, if you're outside the ship and once they start firing on you outside, they lock the ship and take off.
I didn't know that.
So
Okay.
yeah,
I got
you
lucky.
have to, yeah, because
Yeah.
if they see you coming and once you start firing, it locks the ship. And if you're outside, it's even if you uh sneak in the back, if they fire upon you outside that ship, it's a done deal. Nothing's happening.
Mm.
You,
Yeah, that
you
happened
move
to me a
it.
couple of
The
times.
screen just
Yeah,
go black,
yeah,
fade to black.
Cause
right.
I came up to an
You,
area and there were like two or three
yeah,
dudes and I just popped them off and I explored and I'm like, oh look, is that a ship? And then I had like
yeah,
four
but if you
guys
buy the
inside.
ship and they're walking around the ship and they see you, you're not getting the ship. They're going to take
Mm,
off. So you have to sneak
keep that in mind.
behind them. And once you get in the ship, even even once you're in it, you're good because they're not going to come catch you, more or less. Even if there's a digi lock to pick, you can take your time picking it.
mm.
Once you pick that lock and you start fighting everyone on the ship and you destroy everyone on the ship, it's yours.
He said that's so sterile. Destroyed them on the ship.
Destroy
I didn't
them.
want. I didn't want to
It,
say.
Kill,
I didn't.
destroy,
I didn't
murder.
want to say. I didn't say kill.
I'm so,
Just like if
Eliminate.
you notice in Call of Duty and all the games, they don't say kill, they say eliminate.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
they
ever
that's
do.
notice?
true.
You ever notice
Eliminate.
that? Eliminate. But
Hey,
anyway,
what's the
let me
thing that I'm trying to say? Y'all know.
The
Doctor Who.
exterminate.
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 There you
Exterminate.
go. That's the word I'm looking for. There you go. That's what I was
The
looking for.
Daleks.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see. What have I been playing? You guys have been playing From Space. I play From Space, which is a top-down shooter. It's kind of fun. Grid
oh, I thought you
Legends
said spades. I'm like, what?
from
Uh,
FROM
From
P from
space.
Space. Grid Legends. I play Warhammer. I play Halo Infinite, which is fun. I got back into Halo. I'm still trying to get back into my Halo multiplayer mindset.
They fixed it.
Yeah. Oh, Halo's smooth. Halo is really fun now.
Yeah,
I
because I have
play
it
Resident.
downloaded. I just haven't tried it yet.
No, it's good. I play Resident Evil
ooh, which one?
3,
No, nice.
No one never die.
and then I play Forza. I've been busy, and then I play Diablo and I play Starfield. I got frustrated with Starfield because I'm on that level called sabotage. If you guys get that, don't play it. That's an option. Don't do it because you get to a
Sabotage.
certain level. Yeah, it's called
Sabotage.
sabotage, and it's one I forget
What
what it's.
faction?
It's I forget it's the what's that planet? What's the name of that planet? It's I had to send you the link to the faction, but it's like I'm not doing this because I can't. You have to speak with a lady, and once you go try to have a conversation with the lady, she's at lunch. So you have an interview because you're trying to sneak in and sabotage, but you have to speak with her first. And the guy goes and gets her or tries to tell her you're here. She's never in the office. So then he tells you to come back. And then you never can come back because it's over with. And she's supposed to be there. So
She
it's a
gotta sneak up
glitch.
on her. Oh, it's okay.
Oh, so it's a glitch. You can't. So I'm like, okay, it's another way you do it because I had to research why am I having this issue? I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'll do it the other route. I'll do it the hard way. But both of them are sneak attacks from what I heard. So I'll figure that out this weekend. But those are all the games that I've been playing this weekend. I didn't beat anything at all. Double, you'll probably beat Starfield before I do. Oh, and I did play a hot second Dead Space because that came out today. I
Yeah, I
played that
saw
on
you.
the Xbox. Yeah, I played that for a hot second.
Oh,
Then
you
I
downloaded.
yeah, I downloaded it for my Xbox and I downloaded it for my Asus ROG.
That's
And I
86,
tried
buddy.
them. I downloaded it for both of them to see if they would sync, but they weren't. They weren't play anywhere. But that was it. So those who are listening to us, please like and subscribe if you have the opportunity. But let's get to these topics. And one of our first topics will be that former PlayStation CEO says it's criminal the industry isn't doing more to preserve games. What do you guys think about that? And he was a PlayStation CEO. So when he was there, did he think about uh, preserving games? What did he do? What was his push while he was at PlayStation? He left around circa 2017, 18, or 19? 2019, correct?
And then they kept trying to get that
Yeah,
DC to work.
Yeah. So since you
he
said
was
yeah,
taking games away.
yeah. So what was your what are your thoughts about this? His comments on game preservation and we say non-digital games. That would be games that's on the Nintendo, original Xbox, original PlayStation 2, 3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and I guess handheld games to some extent. So, what do you think about that? Is that legitimacy to what he said? Is the industry doing enough? And if they're not doing enough, what do you think they can do? And he says it's around what my concern around consolidation is often the impacts creativity. What do you think about game preservation, OG?
I think, I mean, as far as the like you said, preservation.
Yeah,
I mean, now we only left with digital, and I think it's room for them. People love those games, especially us older cats. So we should
I
have that
said
preservation,
okay.
no matter
That's
what.
no matter what, right?
Yep.
Okay. What if the company's out of business? What if you don't have rights to the music?
That's the thing, and I'm wondering, do you take
I think it's
Congress has
easy.
to get involved with
I
that
think
if the
it's I
license
th-
is gone?
right. I think it's easier said than done. So everyone's saying what they can do, and everyone can think that you should have game preservation. But what is the route one must take? Because I think Phil Spencer said it best. We can't do another Microsoft. We can't do this. We can't do this because a lot of those companies are out of business. Who do you track down to get the rights?
I
And if
mean,
you
yeah,
port the game, and if you want to port a game and it's a preservation, is the game free? If it's not free, then let's say it was two or three old Sony games,
Sounds like
Microsoft
some
games.
bylaws need to be written because video
Well,
games
Yeah,
need to
video
well,
be
well.
games
video
don't.
games.
Everyone. Hold on. Everyone has an opinion, but I think everyone has, and everyone goes off crazy and starts making these comments as they're not doing enough or doing anything per se. I'm still asking double, what is the route you're going to take? And I pose that question to each of you. So double, what's the route you're going to take?
that's what I'm
If
saying.
it
I
was
don't
you,
know if Congress have to get involved with that and just say these games need to be preserved. Period. It don't matter.
really? Okay.
I mean, since the license is like and the companies are gone, what can you do?
So
Because we
are
do
you
need preservation.
It will be in legal limbo.
what about what about your thoughts, Jazz?
Yeah, that's tricky because I didn't really think about the game
Mm-hmm.
rights and music rights and all that foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I don't know if there's an exact. I'm sure there is an exact term for this, but like what's the word I'm looking for? National treasures, things like that. You know, that are
Yeah,
historical
yeah,
for
national
people.
treasure stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, just
yeah.
take
Okay, but
all the
okay. Like
bureaucracy out and then like have a
like you
vault or
said,
something.
like anybody can produce the Bible or anything like that
Yeah,
because
exactly.
no one owns the copyright to that.
Exactly.
Or no one like Mark Twain or some of the old books you can just put out there because they are copyright on those
Mhm.
have expired, for lack of a better term.
Hmm.
Yeah, so like either
That's
preserve
exactly
it
what it is.
or make it widely available for folks. But then that goes into your point like do you charge and if so how much and
And
then
then who
where's
gets the
the
profit?
profit? Exactly.
Exactly.
So
Who
I
gets the
don't
profit?
know. I think y'all just need to do it on good deed Just keep it somewhere
I
for
mean, it's
generations to
just like,
find. I
well,
want to
me
play
and
Wonder
Serge was
Boy.
talking about with the Disney stuff. It's
Oh,
70 years with Disney.
Snow
Then
White.
anybody can make something.
But Disney
Yeah,
is still in business.
yeah, but still, right?
It's
They
gonna be
still
a
in business,
profit.
but
The copyright expired though on some of their original
Technically,
stories.
yes, but I think to some, I'm not sure about that. But to some extent, I don't know if they can renew it or do something with that. Right, you're right. The copyright has expired.
And that's why another company is producing a snow under the same story as the original story, like
Okay, what are your opinions, Serge?
about preservation. I think that it could be taken under, but thinking that because of the license or something, that maybe the media bylaw should be rewritten for something to for the gaming industry, just for the preservation sake. Like maybe a museum, and then you could have a streaming service out of that museum that gives the proceeds to the predecessors of XYZ, or maybe a charity.
After school clubs.
Hmm, sounds interesting. You guys got a lot of opinions. What about you, Mega?
Um, I think there's some validness on what he said because
Wait, stop, stop.
yeah.
I'm gonna give you a hard time. Find validness in the dictionary for me.
Mega. Validity.
Validity? Is that
Yeah,
what she
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. I heard it too. I was like, "Oh, here you go." Oh, I knew exactly what you was gonna say.
said?
I know what you
The
meant, but
validity, like,
validity.
So
but
you
yeah,
said, go ahead.
I say that because well, you guys are looking at it with like um what we do if like the copyright is if the copyright's kind of in limbo. But like I was mostly thinking of like what about companies that like clearly still owns the IP, but they just don't like but there is any way to like play like the older installments of some game series
Right,
without
right.
like owning an older console or like a copy of it. And sometimes that could be really expensive when you look them up on like, stuff like eBay and Amazon and stuff.
Okay, so what we're saying is in the beginning of game development, it was the wild, wild west. There were no, there was not a, let me, for lack of a better term, there wasn't a framework in place on how you should get things done and do things. So everybody was making video games. Everyone could do video games. And from here, there, and the other, and all games on PC. You can just make a game, put it on PC. But there is no framework in place to say, okay, Congress wrote a law that says, okay, if these video games, you have to have preservation XYZ in place. So after X amount of years, you have to be able to produce this. Or who knew that digital was coming? Who knew that digital games would come to be?
Who
So are
knew?
you saying
Who
that?
knew video games would be
me,
this popular that we won't even
No,
consider
we're
it?
not. Well, yeah, well, popular, exactly. Or we would move to digital so
me.
quick. Who would have been
Mm-hmm.
cartridges? Who would have thought about DVDs to play games, cartridges to play games? And let's play with what you guys have been saying, game preservation. Okay, so I'm required to do game preservation because I made a game, but I'm required to make all these extra copies of a game that's not selling just because you guys said, well, we need game preservation. That's a question to you, OG. Am I required to do that?
No, that's
OG?
what I'm saying. Maybe the government has to get involved.
Even,
That's what I'm
okay,
saying.
okay, even if the government did, let's go back to the cartridges. So am I supposed to reverse engineer a cartridge game to make it digital, but I'm not getting a profit off of it because we want games preservation? We want to do that? Or are you saying, well, we're going to put a tax on it for future game preservation for gamers? Okay, well, we're going to put a dollar tax so we can reverse engineer, for lack of a better way of looking at it, to take this technology that's in a cartridge. This is called forward thinking. Did they think like that? No. But
No, no,
so I'm,
we're here
but
now though.
no, but I'm okay. So I asked you in the beginning, tell me how to get there. You got a lot of people talking and telling us what you should do, but no one's telling us how to do it and who's going to pay for it. And it sounds good, but who should do it? You say, well, Sony and Nintendo, they're the ones who have the greatest market share over Microsoft. They should pay for it. Then that means you'd
Well,
be a industry. Or what about the
you
games
can
that
you
were
can get
owned?
these you can get these companies of a incentive for doing it.
Okay. Then let me ask you this one. So if you're going to do game preservation, that means that you must have some form of backwards compatibility on your new systems, right? That will be able to run in a virtual machine, for lack of a better term, on that console, in a VM on that console, so it can do backwards compatibility, right? Running in its own little kernel.
Yeah, yeah. Why not?
Who's gonna pay for it? That's what you. But nobody wants to answer.
That's why I
But
said
here's the
it
thing.
would have to be a
But you can
company.
run it on the cloud. Period.
Who gonna pay?
The digital format, just put them on the cloud. That's all.
Who gonna pay to host it?
The government. I don't know.
That's my whole point.
Third
Everybody
grader
got
shit.
answers.
Or
Everybody goes. Everybody is telling you how to do it, but nobody's trying to tell you how to put. I said keyword infrastructure. What infrastructure is in place to get this done?
some new hotshot company has to come and make it so.
It's gonna have to. I'm telling you, the government will have to come in and play on it.
Or
So we do it in the
some
U.S.
individuals could come
We
in.
do it in the U.S. What about China? Or what
Of
about
I don't
course,
Japan?
know
ain't they gonna
about that.
pay for
I
it?
can't. We can't speak for them.
Okay. So you say it's a quagmire.
Giggity.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see what
Well,
you did there, Jazz.
but do you see now when you start putting everything in perspective, it sounds good what everybody makes a comment for everyone to react to, right?
Well, you know the alternative to those to get those games.
I know what you're gonna
That
say, right? We don't mention those.
we don't mention those things.
Okay. But
Hey,
no,
but they better step
but
the
in,
game up.
but in theory, now moving forward at this point, to tell you for as game preservations in the digital world, there to me should be no excuse because technically, if you're selling people these games, and technically I'll tell you, well, you don't own them, you just rent them like music. All this music streaming, you buying this music, you cannot say, for instance, oh, gee, you have this. And I think it's with Apple. One of Apple is one of them because somebody was suing these music rights people or wanted to sue them. In the music industry, you can download all those songs and you say, okay, I own all these songs. They're digital, and you're gonna will them to Mega. And I don't think you can
Right.
will that collection to your children because you don't own it. You're licensing it for the time. It's not. You can't transfer it.
Yeah, it's some things that need to be
The-
worked
But,
out.
but see, no one is saying that. And I
Yeah,
think that's
that's
where you saying, I agree with you, Congress and the government should say, no, if a person purchased this under belief, it's their property and they have the right to do with it because it's property they own. Just because you want to call it digital, it's digital property that I own.
yeah.
And to that extent, I do agree.
Well, just like
But
how
moving,
stocks work, stocks
We're gonna have to go there.
stocks
We're
ain't
gonna have to.
Something like it's a vinyl versus an MP3. That's how I think of it.
but
Because technically,
but
I
you don't,
don't
but
own it.
you own that MP3. I mean, the vinyl.
Yeah. The,
But what I'm saying as far as game preservation moving forward, they should be required to say, even if it's digital, they are required to keep it in the cloud for perpetuity. Not my fault.
Yeah.
Well, you better put money on the side or a tax to say, okay, this game has to stay in the cloud because if I own it, I should be able to re-download it whenever I want
That's right.
it. That should be the thing that government should think about. Okay, but that's an interesting conversation.
I
Let's
mean,
hop.
you right. I mean, you bring up something big with that, like how I'm gonna will all these games to him. You know?
Okay. And they're not in the end. You can say that, but I don't think if you read in these agreements, I'm not a lawyer and I haven't really, but this is what I've assumed and heard because I'm assuming this is just the same as music. But let's talk about this new subject. What's going on with
Sure, I got about
PlayStation?
a thousand games digital.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, I didn't like that first shift to digital games, but let's not get
I
off
didn't like
topic.
digital games now. I didn't begin it, but you know what? I look at how many games I had with the Xbox and the Xbox 360, and it took up so much space. And I have them in boxes
True.
stored in my house. I'm like, this is a lot of stuff.
I went to a CD wallet.
And
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and, and don't let's not even talk about CDs that I still have in my family room downstairs, sitting there just lined up. And I'm like, I have not listened to them in over 10 years. Not one because of the digital world.
Yeah.
So it sounds good. And I think people like to have a hissy fit, but it's irrelevant. So anyway, that's enough of that. What did you guys think about the Bug Fest in Spider-Man? Was it legitimate? Were the reviewers first, or do you think the reviewers were disingenuous? And first, I want you guys. This is how I want you to answer. Were the reviewers disingenuous? Were the bugs really not a problem? And from only from what you've read and seen, because I know I'm gonna go on the cliff here and say none of you've played the game.
Nope.
So from what you've read, based on principle alone, do you feel as though everyone else was reporting these bugs? The reviewers didn't say one word, and they haven't came out to say, okay, is there a double standard? Which we know it is. But how do y'all feel about that?
I think one bug in
So,
particular, but yeah.
and the last question of that is, who fault is it? So let's go with you, Jazz.
So to answer your question about is it does it interrupt the gameplay? I'd say the one where your character turns into a white square, that would ruin it for me. um, Let me scroll and I got it
Even
on
the
the
way,
screen.
even the constant crashes.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, here we go. So everybody can see. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't played it.
What about the mix up between the Puerto Rican flag and the
The Cuban
uh,
flag.
Cuban flag?
I'm interested to hear your point.
I know, but I'm gonna wait for last. I'm gonna wait for last.
I think it's ridiculous to mix up something like that. Yeah, they have the same shape. It just some colors are swapped, but
Don't all flags have the same shape?
no,
Mm-hmm.
no,
Yes, they do.
no, no,
They're
no. Not
square.
not shape. I mean, not sketched
They're
out. I mean
rectangular.
You
design.
mean that those
The
laugh?
design and the triangle and the star. It's like it's just the colors are in different areas. I'll give y'all that. But come
Okay.
on, no one thought to look this up first. I think
What
it's
do you think
plain a
about the
sad way.
reviewers not pointing out the bugs? What do you think about that? And
I
then some
think,
reviewers, I'm not even gonna name because I don't respect them anymore.
yeah,
Talking about, oh, y'all talking too much about the bugs. The game is great.
they
I can't.
either
A game can't be great. It can be fun, but it can't be great. There's a difference. The game is fun. A lot of games are fun, but if it keeps crashing and breaks my immersion, it can still be fun, but doesn't mean it's going to be great because to be great means it has to be flawless.
I think they either didn't play it or, like you said, it's bias and they didn't
Oh,
say
it's
anything
bias.
about it,
Yeah, it's
which
bias.
is Yeah, I'm leaning harder on that.
Hmm. What about you, Serge?
I've been seeing some bugs. I find it oddly ironic that no one's talking about the bugs about this, but Starfield bugs was all over
Yeah.
the place.
Oh, all over the place, but they couldn't talk about one Spider-Man book.
Uh-huh. And I it
And
was
and,
it,
and
it was
I'm
oh,
gonna
go
say
ahead.
one thing. I'm gonna interrupt you. I apologize.
Oh no, you
I
good.
will say I'll say that only one I'm gonna call disingenuous is Digital Foundry. They are so granular. And you mean tell me they did all this testing and he not once did anybody say anything about a bug. I don't care.
Didn't
He's going to come out
didn't
after the
mention it
patch.
or
You're
nothing.
right, nothing. But after the patch, oh, I'm encountering bugs. Miss me on that because I don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it. That's all I want to say. So that's what I was going to say. But go ahead.
Yeah, because it was like I'm seeing all this stuff about bugs. Like it was a couple of reviewers that said like, yeah, there's bugs if you like Spider-Man. It's a Spider-Man game, but at the same time, it has the same problems that all Spider-Man games have.
Same ones.
Hmm.
It's-
Sounds like they talking about game of the year, game of the year. I'm like,
I don't see how a game could be a game of the year if it has all those bugs.
yeah.
And it had more bugs than Starfield did. But but what's that game? That what's the game had thousands of bugs, but it was okay. It was the greatest game. Jazz, you just played it. I haven't even played it yet.
Which one?
Came out last year. Dark
Oh,
Soulish game. What's
oh,
the
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring?
Yeah.
Elden Ring. Okay. OG, what are your thoughts?
Of course, I think the media is biased about those bugs. They're there, and they was there in the first one, first Spider-Man game, and they still there. It's the same ones. Um, the flag thing. I'm I'm mad about the flag thing because they know Miles Morales' origin.
Mother's origin.
He's Puerto
That's
Rican,
not.
Okay.
but they stuck
It's
him with a
pop.
Cuban flag.
I understand it.
This ain't the 616 miles.
I don't, that's still sticking out though.
No one thought to
Did you
look it
play
up.
Miles Morales? Did you play Miles Morales?
Who are you talking to?
You.
No. I told you I didn't beat the first one yet. So I'm gonna get around to those. I'm too busy on my Xbox.
That was part of his thing in Miles Morales.
I
He was
know.
talking
And
about
you
Puerto Rico. So that's an issue to me. You stuck him with the Cuban flag
oh
because it's part of his origins. Being
So
part Puerto Rican is part of his origin.
they
yeah,
didn't
being
read it.
Puerto Rican.
Maybe they mad. Yeah, I mean, they didn't want to do it because
What what are your thoughts, Mega?
Um, uh, well, the only thing I could say is the stats. Like, I have heard at least like one bug in the game
Was
that
it the
at
cube?
least,
The
yeah, it was the cube thing. But I feel like the reviewers should like at least mention, yeah, there's some stuff here and there. At least that's a point because if I'm hearing some of these like glitches, then yeah, it should be a thing that should be mentioned. But yeah, that's all I could really say really since I barely follow Spider-Man 2.
what did you think about? What did you think about the reviewers not saying anything?
Um, I
Disingenuous?
I think it's pretty weird. It's either disingenuous or they have to encounter them themselves because like it could be like based off of like because each experience is like different with people. Like there will be some that'll counter a lot, and there will be some that will barely see anything. But
Okay.
I feel like even then, like I say, like look it up, like just in case if there's been some like glitches and stuff, even if you haven't encountered any, you know.
Okay, let me get to my point. Um, let me talk about the bugs. There are, from what I've seen a lot of videos, and that's why I said I will not get the game until January, February for all the bugs to get taken care of because there's a plethora of bugs, which is not good. For those listening, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. We thank you for joining our podcast tonight. There's a plethora of bugs,
Yes, it's very
and
buggy.
right, but no one brings it up. Not one reviewer brings it up. Right? What was the game that Larian released? Full of bugs, but it was ranked 9.3, 9.5. Bugs were not a problem, right?
Yep.
But the minute Starfield came out, oh, they were granular with the bugs, and that's a problem. Tell me how
Yes.
1 plus 1 equals 2, but then 1 plus 1 equals 10 for everybody else, because it's not adding up. For the If you're going to judge something, judge everybody the same. So there is 100% attack, and it's a prejudice that is put on Microsoft games because the industry is so under one company's uh, domain, and they're only going to support them 24/7. However, Miles Morales is fine, but it shouldn't be ranked a 9 or 10 if it has. So I'm against any game if it has
Bugs.
game.
Being,
Right. If it has game breaking bugs, then it's not worth a 10. It can't be worth it. It can't be over a 9. It can't even hit 9 if it has bugs. There's no game that has a plethora of bugs that breaks the immersion, breaks it. The whole cube thing flying around was a done deal. Now, let me get to the flag issue since you guys want to know my theory. You were talking, you being Surge, talking about the Middle East on this acceptance thing, and they took certain things out, right?
hmm
To appease certain governments, right?
hmm
Or the game wouldn't be able to be sold.
hmm
And what I always say, we are in this world where everyone's on this kick. Everybody is not for what you're for. And I'm gonna say something and I want you guys to see where I'm coming from. Everybody thinks everyone is for diversity and inclusion. So you got all these developers, including this, that, and the other. You have remember when Miles Morales first came out and you have this person that looks just like you and me, black, has dreads, right or wrong,
Yeah.
has a fade, sees a fade.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know the outcry of people that didn't like that, right?
Oh yeah.
So you think about a Miles Morales Spider-Man. You going to somebody else's culture. You're trying to show this Puerto Rican culture side as well, right? Can you name any part of the game in Miles Morales that they talked about Cuba?
Nope.
Can you name part of the game where they talked about Panama?
Nope.
Can you name part of the game where they talked about any other Caribbean? Well, I mean, Puerto Rico is a territory of the U.S. They're part of the U.S. They're U.S. citizens, but Cuba is another country. Let's go with Dominican Republic. Did you see anything about them talking about Dominican? Did you see anything about that?
Nope.
Nope.
So do not think everybody is for this diversity inclusion. Where I'm going with this is that it was done intentionally, and whoever did it knew they were doing it because there's no way in the world where would they get that asset from? If you're a developer, you have all these assets. Are you going to tell me someone is that dumb that puts a Cuban flag? Where would you find it if it's never part of the assets? You have all the Cuban flags in the last game or whatever, right? So how do you, I mean, not Cuban, I'm sorry, Puerto Rican flags in the
Puerto
last
Rican.
game, right? You got a Puerto Rican, this Puerto Rican, that Puerto Rican, all. So sometimes you do use the same asset. So do you think, and this is me, all these developers, they say they are for diversity and inclusion. And I'm not saying they head or not. But when you start looking deeper and deeper, really, are you really? Look at, and I'm sorry to say this, look at everything that you saw about Activision Blizzard, all the hoopla and hollering, and you look deep in them pictures. And I'm not saying it's good or bad, but did you see anybody that looked like you? Look very hard in all those pictures. Because when I looked at those pictures, it was few and far between that you saw somebody that represents you. So you get a mandate that says, hey, I want to be inclusive from upper management. But the feet on the street may not have your same beliefs and thoughts. And you can call it what you want to call it. And you can say that my theory is wrong. But I'm just telling you logically, it to me, in my opinion, that was done on purpose. It wasn't a mistake. It was some disrespect. And you could
Good.
take it how you want it. But there is no way someone could have made that mistake through quality control. Through you just don't put another country's. So that's what that would be saying. Okay, you flew the communist Russian flag. Or no, let me get you. Let me do it another way. You have you ever seen the British lumberjack flag in any of our games that's similar somehow to a little bit to the U.S. flag? Have you seen that in any video game?
No, I haven't.
No.
So,
Not quite.
so logically speaking, I'm just trying to speak logically. Go back and look at, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but look at all these tours and pictures that you see from Activision and Blizzard, and they going on the campus, and wow, you see all these people. Then you start looking at all them pictures. Show me somebody that look like you. Not good or bad, but everybody in there do not have the same likes, interests, and beliefs as you. They may not even have the same political thoughts, so don't think everybody is down for what you're doing. They're doing it because that's their job. And whoever did that, I don't, I'm just saying, to me, it was malicious intent because it was disrespect to me. And that's my opinion. And that is what I'm gonna keep.
Hmm.
Anybody else got something to say about that? Think I'm wrong?
I'm
I
curious to
I
ask
I think
now.
you're onto something.
I just think it's right. I just logically speaking, I can't fathom that. I just can't because you use the same asset. It's not like you're gonna go out and get a new asset and say, "Oh, this is a Puerto Rican flag." No, that was done on purpose.
And when you enter it in the search bar, Puerto Rican flag, the right one's gonna
But
come up.
the game, wait a minute, but the game had other Puerto Rican elements. They always use assets over again,
Yeah, I know
right?
what you mean. Yep.
So tell me how did they do this unless it was on purpose?
Yeah, when my friend comes on, I want to ask him about that. It's like, you know about this?
I'm asking my nephew because he's a developer. And just say, hey, how does this go? But we spent enough on that topic. But I just wanted to get your guys' opinion because I thought it was just I'm like, really?
I think it was intent.
I do think it was intentional. But
I
tell
think
somebody
it
can
was
I ain't think about
intent.
that.
it was intentional. I don't care what
What
anybody
about
says.
you,
It
Cares?
was you if you can go into so many video games, you will see so many subliminal messages if you paying attention to say F you, I'm not down with what you think. And you think that these developers are all on the same page, kumbaya. No, they're not. No, they're not. Just think about how long it took them to we're in 2023, head into 24. And just think about the world today. How divided the world is, how evil people are, how people just shooting at everybody, how people kill people just because of the way they look. Now, you think a lot of these people don't have those same thoughts of saying, I'm superior to you, and we are just in the video game industry where they have a problem with a female character being the lead, a person of color being the lead. Oh, this person can't be this person can't be that. And you're going to tell me you don't believe that that flag could have was put it was not disrespected on purpose. Okay, you believe that, but I'm gonna stay on my bridge, and I know what I see. Hate,
Okay.
Hate on me if you like, but hey, I'm just telling you, I don't believe it, and I'm entitled to that
You
opinion.
raise a good point. You raise
Go
a
ahead.
good point. No, I was just saying you raise a good point.
That's what I think. I mean, it was funny to me. I just thought it was asinine that people thought that that was an actual um, mistake, and I just don't think it was a mistake.
Nah, I don't think it was no mistake either.
Okay, so let's get to this other topic. What did you guys think? And this is we're gonna run these two topics together. Xbox revenues and they kick butt because of Star Wars and Game Pass, and Microsoft saying they're going to double down on gaming. Is that a good move? Should people be worried? Does Microsoft have the team in place to help them? Oh, I'm going to start with Serge on that. What do you think? What do you think about the double digit growth? They had excellent growth. The whole Microsoft had, the company of Microsoft had growth, but the gaming division kicked butt, and they didn't include Activision Blizzard.
Well, they made everything more accessible, so everybody was talking about them and what they were doing.
So you
They
saying they
did
advertise?
other than not advertising for not advertising.
You said I said they did advertise.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah, they advertised. Everybody heard of, everyone knew about Starfield. They gave events. Starfield did well. Starfield did what, 11 million players. It was the highest seventh ranked game, so that was going to help the number. And they're going to double down on gaming. And everyone's thinking double down on gaming means, oh, they can buy another big publisher. Not happening. And everyone's saying, well, they can buy Square Enix, they can buy Sega, they can buy this, they can buy that.
No, I mean it's putting in money into developing the games. They got their studios now. They gonna start pumping games out.
Yep, that's exactly
Mhm.
what that means.
All right. What about you, OG?
Yeah, I mean, doubling down on games mean, hey, they're assuring their customers we're gonna be making more and more games. That's exactly what it means. I expect to see a lot of games. And what was the other
So,
question?
wait a minute. No, you expect to see a lot of games because they have to feed the beast.
That's right.
And who's the beast?
Game Pass.
There you go. So they got to feed the beast. So they
Gotta
got to
feed
double
the
down on gaming, and their money to make this quarter because of Starfield and Game Pass is going to grow.
yeah. Starfield, and I think they message is finally coming across.
And so the
You know,
message being
PlayStation is not the
advertising,
only one in town.
advertising with that sphere.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, I saw that sphere.
Yeah, oh man, that was so nice.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that was on point.
Yeah, that was bad.
So for those who don't know, it was a sphere in Vegas, I think,
Yep.
and it
Oh
had
yeah.
it advertises and it was off the chain. So I don't know if you showed that last week, but it was very nice. It seems like they are off to a good start. And okay, so they're
Hey,
doing a good.
hey, I wonder who idea was that?
I don't know who idea was that, but that was a
I
good
got an
idea.
idea who idea that was.
You think it was Sarah Bond?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I knew you was trying to give her props. I knew that was coming. What are your thoughts, Serge?
On what?
Oh, I mean, actually, I'm sorry. I meant to say, Jazz. What are your thoughts
Oh,
on
I'm
the
like,
on
hold
the
on, wait a minute,
recommend?
what? On the ball is coming.
But yeah. What was the exact question before I go off on a tangent
Doubling
crazy?
down on gaming and the results, the financial results.
I'm not surprised because I knew Game Pass is gonna help promote. Other people are gonna look and be like, "Oh, look at that," you know. So great way to garner sales. We've seen
Right,
that.
because Game Pass did have growth.
Mm-hmm. So that's my thing. Cause shoot, even our last podcast talking about it, one of my buddies in the chat wanted to talk about, or he wanted to experience that. So I think it's great.
Okay. What about you, Megan?
I think it's good that they're doubling down on games. Like I already kind of I already kind of knew that since like well I think around like I guess the Bethesda acquisition that Phil Spencer made it clear that they're going to like step their game up. That no pun intended.
Mm.
But
Okay. What do you think about
yeah,
the financial result?
um, I think it's well, Starfield's definitely picking up on it, and I think that's really good. That I think that's really good. So far in terms of series first party series exclusives, is Starfield the most successful so far?
This generation, yes.
So
Ah,
far, so far.
yeah, yeah, I could definitely see that.
My vision, and we're going to get into this, but my vision and the profits are good, but they're going to have to with this new inclusion of Activision Blizzard. They're saying they're going to do 7 billion a quarter next quarter, $7 billion. That means they're going to, and PlayStation's going to help with that because of the bundle.
That's the
Stuff,
projection.
but yeah, they're going to include that and start. I mean, they're saying 7 billion next quarter, which
Mm.
it should be doable. I think that's kind of reserved because during the Christmas season, I think um, Butchka was going to do at least 500 million alone by itself. Call of Duty is going to do 500 million alone by itself. Diablo's going to do well. I think they're going to push a promo for Diablo. I think Microsoft is going to push a promo for Diablo. I think as far as numbers, it's a great thing. And the numbers they did over the quarter with Starfield helping, yes, I think that Starfield did gangbusters. But what people are missing with that number is a lot of that came from the PC side, and which was great because PC is not as uh, saturated with Game Pass as the Xbox is. There's going to be a minimum growth with Game Pass. To me, probably another 10% growth in Game Pass on the Xbox, unless they grow the base. But PC Game Pass is going to grow like I think a good 10 to 15%. And this year it's because of
Sure.
the yeah, this year it's going to grow okay. But next year is when I really start expecting this time next year for all this merger stuff to really show and shine because you're going to have the next Call of Duty that's going to be on Game Pass or sold as like Sony is doing. So that's what I think goes down with doubling down on gaming. I do think they're going to make, now quote me, you can quote me on this. They're going to make another acquisition, not big, between now and June, July. There will be another acquisition. Mark my words on it.
You think
Not going to
something
be a big
smaller?
one. It's going to be something small because they need help with smaller teams that can help feed the beast. And what I mean by feed the beast, or like you say, hire other development teams to feed the beast to make uh, all these catalog games they have already. They have a lot of catalog games that they need to put out, right? So they need to have other developers. You can't overtax everybody in these development studios. Then you're doing them no better than Activision did. So they're going to have to get somebody out there that can assist them with getting a catalog and putting more games up. And I heard all the industry and all these people what I don't understand about this, and this is with doubling down on gaming, and I'm segueing to two different stories, but people keep bringing this up, and I wish they would stop. Oh, Sega, Sony. and we're going to go into Sony, Sony laying people off. The turmoil at Sony, we segue. These two going to go together. And I want to get your opinion, you guys' opinion. Everyone keeps thinking that Sony is setting themselves up for a sale, or that Apple is going to buy Sony, or they keep saying Google is going to buy Sony, or they say that Amazon is going to buy Sony. And I'm telling you, people need to stop thinking Sony is going anywhere. Sony is a behemoth within itself. They're not a little bit arrogant, but they're going to do well this quarter. They're in a disarray like Microsoft was 2 or 3 years ago. Because I saw an article that said, "Oh, Sony doesn't have any games coming out." Who did that sound like in 2017 or 18?
Mhm.
And they really was saying that Sony is put only has 3 games. I'm sorry, let me correct it. Uh, The Last of Us, Spider-Man, and God of War. What does that sound like? Halo, Gears, and what? Forza.
Halo Gears Forza. Halo Gears Forza.
So that being said, by Microsoft feeding the beast, what Microsoft means by feeding the beast and making sure is that they don't want to get themselves behind when the likes of Apple get into this gaming industry, because Apple is not getting into the gaming industry like people saying buying a publisher. Well, Apple's not going to be allowed to buy a publisher. They would stop that 5 seconds flat. Apple with this eight or that newest chip is going to put it in the TVs next. And since that new chip running on that iPhone, what seventh? I got the 14. Is it the iPhone 15?
Mm-hmm.
The new iPhone, but it runs hot. This is all with Apple's internal beta testing because it can run Resident Evil, but that little TV box, and you can hook a controller to, that's their Trojan horse. Once they get that settled out, and they can put that chip in the next TV, and they start selling that TV like gangbusters. Yes, the phone and the tablets. That's what's going to do what they need to do, and they can uh, was that simulcast to your TV from the if they can get the simulcast down from the TV from your tablet to the TV, that's who Microsoft is betting against. They're trying to get their infrastructure in place, all these games in place, so it'll be hard for the likes of Apple to just come in because Apple has a total big base with their game store, $2 or $3 billion a quarter just in gaming. And you know why they make it? It's not because of games they're charging everybody in them stores. That's why it's going to be a problem for them next year when they have to the EU. That's why people don't understand. Doubling down on gaming just doesn't mean this. It means that mobile space too. You guys see what I'm saying? The mobile space is where they're going to double down on. Now, if you what I think they may do, they may buy and once they get King in the right space, they may try to buy a smaller mobile company because because once they can get King to say, "Hey, this is how you need to be in the mobile space. This is how we can help in the mobile space," especially if Microsoft can launch a store in the EU on the um, stores of Apple and the can I mean not store of Apple, but the iOS and Google Android platform. If they can offer their own store, and then you know who's going to be one of their first customers in that store. Who's going to be their first customer? Or this company may do their own store too. Who is it going to be?
Is it
Hmm.
Capcom? Is it Resident Evil?
Mm-mm.
You said
Mm-mm.
first customer.
Either the first customer, they're going to try to open their own store, and they may open their own store, and I'm predicting they will. Who is it going to be?
Hmm.
Do 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 do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know who it's going to be? You know who it's going to be?
Who's gonna be?
Epic.
Hmm.
Tell me why is it going to be Epic?
Epic got Unreal Engine.
Nope, that's not it.
To
But that's
compete with
part of it.
Valve.
This the what's the game that was kicked off the Apple Store and Google Store?
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Wh-
What is that?
What what do all the kids play?
Fortnite.
There
Fortnite.
you go. Who
Fortnite.
owns Fortnite? Who owns
Fortnite.
Fortnite? Who owns
Epic.
Fortnite?
Epic.
Yeah.
And
Epic.
that that's going to be the first person either they're going if they can open up their own store, they're going to open up their own store in the EU because they already got the store on the PC. They're somehow thinking they can transfer if they can transport or whatever, move that store over. That is exactly what they're going to do. Or they're going to be they will be one of the first partners with Microsoft to put that game back on the iPhone.
I can see
What
that.
do so when people
iPhone
start,
Fortnite. Oh man.
'cause remember
Yeah.
they kicked them off because of the lawsuit and all that.
Yeah. That'd be their first customer.
That will be their first customer. They're going to open their own store
Put Epic in there.
because if they open their own store, I don't think micro. I think they may still be able to stop them, but I don't think they could stop them under Microsoft because Microsoft would own their own store and Apple couldn't prohibit that. So that's where I think they're going to double down on gaming because what they are trying to do is thwart them. Then I can see them saying, okay, if we can thwart that in King, and then it probably will be somehow that if that is the case in that OS, now guess what? If that goes to be in that iOS, then it also is going to go for the Apple TV and everything else. They can put that OS on there, their stores in the EU. So that's where they're going to double down on gaming. And I think that what they're trying to do now is that's why Phil Spencer went to the EU, I mean, went to Europe first to King. I think they're trying to get that infrastructure together. And like I said, it goes back to what I'm thinking about, what everyone's thinking about Sony. Oh, they're competing. They're not competing with Sony. They're not. I really don't think they're competing. They don't. I don't even think they. I don't even think for a console space there, they were saying, okay, we'll make people think because we want you to think we're competing with Sony, but our eyes is on another target because Microsoft is not going to get played like they did last time. And if this goes in EU and Europe and the rest of the world, because the United States may be last in doing this, they're going to give everybody a run for their money. So, what do you guys think about that? And what do you think guys think about the leadership change? Sarah Bond being promoted president of Xbox. What do you guys think about that?
I knew it. I
You
knew it
knew it.
was coming. Got the right person.
She's smart and she's a beast in the best way. I don't want people think they're saying beast meaning strategic, a battler.
Strong.
Yes, like a gaming beast. Because usually gaming beast, you're all on point. So what do you guys think about that, Jazz? What do you think about that?
I think it's cool. Um, Besides obvious reasons. Someone look like me. But
And she is Yale and Harvard educated.
yes, she is a very
See, people don't
educated woman. She
yeah, people
knows her
don't think
stuff.
about that. She's Yale and Harvard educated. She has a degree, her BS from
Yeah.
Yale,
It ain't
and
just my
her
face.
MBA. Right, two Ivy League schools. Two Ivy League schools.
Yeah.
So she just didn't just walk up in that job. She's very articulate. She can handle herself under pressure. If you saw at the lawsuit, when they questioned her, she handled it. She remained cool, calm, and collected. Like you said, I'm happy. She is at the head of Xbox because a lot of people think I don't know if that's going to happen because I don't think Phil's going anywhere for like 5 or 10 years. He's too comfortable, and I don't have a problem with Phil. I like Phil, but I think she, no matter how you see that org chart, wherever Phil is, do you see her?
She's right there.
She right there.
She's
Matt
right there.
Booty's around. Matt Booty's around. but she is everywhere Phil is.
Hey.
What are your thoughts, Serge?
I think it's cool. Like that. Hopefully she makes the right moves. Cause I can't really like. She's educated and all that. Just hopefully she's a good
Well,
fit.
who do you? Well, I don't understand that question because it's kind of wrong to me. What do you mean you hope she should fit? She was very strategic in putting all these games in the Xbox Game Pass system. She's been the one strategic working with the development and all the developers. So why do you say you hope she's a good fit? And if you so since you went down that rabbit hole, who would have been a better fit?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for the
You
future.
implied it.
No,
Yes, you did.
no, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I
You
just said
said
I hope that she's a good fit, meaning that I hope
you
she
of
does good.
all the people we've ever talked about again, you've never said anybody else being hope. We're not talking about Star Wars, so we're not talking about keep the hope or MLK. I mean, the Rainbow Push, keep hope alive, Jesse Jackson.
Hmm.
No, he did.
Yes, I did.
Well, since you said it, then you can have this conversation by yourself. Since you all, what you mean?
Okay.
Like
Uh,
what?
okay.
Whatever.
Forgive Lord. What are your thoughts, Megan?
Um, I think it's I think it's really good. I think it's really good that she's gonna be like taking care of ABK now, right? Activision
Mm-mm,
Blizzard.
mm-mm. She's the head of Xbox. ABK is still this other guy.
Oh,
She's the head of
okay.
Xbox. So Matt Booty, I think, is what he's head of all of the publishing studios now, including Activision Blizzard. Because people thought that Activision Blizzard was going to sit on the side and not be a part of Xbox. I'm like, wait till the
Nope.
actual thing happens, and you're going to see who controls all that. And Matt Booty controls all that now. So speaking of that, Matt Booty controls is over Activision Blizzard, right? Not Activision Blizzard, Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
And remember a couple of weeks ago, I said to you guys, Pete Hines left, and everybody said, "Oh, he wanted to leave." I'm like, no, he didn't. I said it, and
You
I'm
sound, hey,
sticking to it.
hey,
I'm sticking
wait a
to it.
minute.
I said to you guys last week, yeah, last week or the week, whenever we talked about him leaving, I said to you guys, I said, nope, he probably saw the org chart. He didn't get the promotion to be
He
something
didn't get no
higher up.
promotion.
I
Exactly.
want to
So
be
he said,
president.
he, I,
I'm out.
you didn't, that's my point. Now, what's scaring me, maybe because I thought the one I thought Phil was going to move up, but maybe he doesn't want to move up, is Todd Howard.
No, Ty Howard just want to make games, man.
Yeah, but Pete Hines, I think, thought because, he was promoted, but he did not become a studio, like the head of, I think he wanted to become the head of Bethesda or the head of ZeniMax overall.
Something.
I just think he wanted that. And I think that testimony that came out, the show, I think that played a big role in him because you don't become part of a studio and you see it's growing. Oh, I'm tired. I'm ready to go. Nah, I don't believe that. But we can say he left, right? But then the lady from Sony, we know she left.
Yeah.
And I was speculating that she might come over as a Connie Booth. No, Sony
Ooh,
booted her. And I say,
ooh,
wait a minute. What if she come and head over Activision Blizzard?
ooh.
Activision, not Blizzard, but Activision, because they splitting Activision Blizzard up once that happens too. And I thought maybe they're going to put Lulu Chain in head of Activision or Blizzard. That'd be nice. So, what do you guys think about that? What do you think about Thurban, OG?
I think it's great. I think it's great for the culture. I think it's great for women of
But you
color,
mean you mean inclusion?
inclusion, all of that.
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. That's why I stated in the very beginning. I don't want people to think that she got this because of diversity and inclusion. It's good that she is a representative, but I put somewhere, don't forget this lady is educated. And she went to,
Yeah.
because you remember,
You
they
don't want to
usually
look far
always say,
down.
no, 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 but they usually say, oh, well, you got to make sure this person's educated. Okay, that was the first hurdle. Well, you got to make sure they're properly educated because usually, like someone is a law firm, look at the some of these people that are these head lawyers or whatever, these big time lawyers. They always got to say Yale, Yale, Harvard. Who has the
Princeton
better
and all
law school? I
those.
think Princeton. Between Princeton, I think it's Yale has a better law school than Princeton. But it's between those three: Princeton, Yale, and Harvard. Best law schools outside the University of Michigan has a good law school. Uh, Stanford used to be U, Duke. All those are good law schools. But when your resume says things like that, but see, she covered the bases because she went to two Ivy League schools. I don't want people to get this confused as if, or she's just there because she's a woman or she's
Mm-mm.
there because she's a person of color. I'm happy she's a person of color. I'm happy, but she worked her butt off to get to where she was recognized because she made boss moves. That's why I'm saying that the lady is a boss. She's calm, she's cool, she's collective, and she's stylish.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so.
And I love stylish women. So she's stylish. You don't ever see that lady come out there where she's not. I'm like some other people, but don't come out the stage if you can't outlook her. I mean, it ain't all about fashion and looks, but she's always on point. And you know what? She's always representing the Microsoft green. Whenever she has an opportunity, you ever notice she's on that stage, she got some form of green.
Mm-hmm. She
Always.
does.
Always.
Nobody else represents. She knows how to subtly represent. And I give her much credit for that.
There's a saying, and I hate to say it this way, but there's a saying that black women are some shrewd business women. They shrewd,
I'm not
You
going to
hate to
say
say it.
shrewd. I'm just going to,
they be on point.
she's on point. She's on point. She's very much, well, I think it's not that it's because I think they have to strive so hard to get to where they are. They become and they are because they've already had all the, that's why my case in point, when she got on the witness stand in the trial, everyone keeps saying she was the most calm, cool, collected. She been through it. You really couldn't put her through anything that she wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
So that's what that's why you say she's calm because she's a very smart business person. And I think people need to give her kudos for that. Everyone predicted that was going to happen, and they were right. I think a lot of people in the industry respects her because I think overall she's one of the most, if you want to put her on a list, she's one of the most powerful women at Microsoft outside of Amy Hood. Amy Hood makes loot.
Yeah, you
Amy
might as well
Hood,
add her to the list.
Amy Hood makes loot. Amy Hood is a very powerful woman, and she been there for a long time. I think her compensation package is 20 to 30 million a year. So do not think Amy Hood's not making any money.
That's true.
Put some respect on my
She been there like
Hmm.
what, 34 years?
name.
She been there a minute. She been there a minute.
She's just 34, 34 years, something like that.
I don't know
34.
how long
Wow.
she. I don't know how long she been there. I'm just saying she been there a minute. But just saying that if you look at her credentials and you look at Sarah Bond's credentials, all them people went to excellent schools. They didn't no fly by night schools. Not to downgrade any school, but I just don't want people to say, "Oh, she being Sarah Bond, well, she got it," and because they're trying to fill this minority quota or they're trying to
Affirmative
diversity.
action.
No, it's right. They ain't got nothing. It has nothing to do with that. That lady was ace. She was on point. And the thing is, a lot of people are going to start getting jealous of this lady because she's moving and grooving and she's very articulate and she's smart. So I think a lot of people are going to be weary of that. And I'm gonna tell you who somebody else, who people are also jealous of. And nobody's going to talk about this, but you know who people are jealous of?
Hmm.
Phil Spencer. And I'm gonna say within Microsoft because he came and pulled Xbox from the bottom to right up to one of the main contributors to the financial growth of Microsoft. So
Microsoft,
he's
yeah.
he's eating at the big boys table. When you take in a $70 billion company who's making profits, now Xbox division is going to have to pull in 7 billion to 8 billion in revenue a quarter, where LinkedIn and only I think they'll only be second to Azure, and maybe LinkedIn or the new one they bought Nuance. I don't know what Nuance is bringing to the table, or where they integrated Nuance in, but and AI. But after that, you have to look at how that's what people judge of. So that all to me integrates together on the strategy of Xbox doubling down on gaming. They have to double down on gaming. So, but I think their doubling down is not just going to be on consoles. I think people are misinformed. Their doubling down is going to be in that mobile space, and I think their next target may be mobile. And if they knew, which goes to show, like I don't know if they'll buy Sega because Sega just bought a mobile division. Who made what? Did Birds? What's that bird company?
Rovio.
Yeah, Rovio.
I thought you said Big Bird.
Nah, I ain't say
Angry
Sesame
Birds.
Street. I didn't say
They
Sesame
buy
Street.
What about
Launch
Sesame
bird.
Street?
A
He gonna
bird.
say
they
Sesame.
buy Sesame Street.
Okay, but
Launch bird.
anyway, I think it's interesting. I think how this is going to play out. I think it's interesting for the fact that the moves that they made. I'm looking to see who Microsoft puts in place after this lady leaves. I mean, Bobby, Bobby Kotick leaves. I wonder who they will promote over there. Maybe
I
they'll
would
put Todd Albert.
I would scoop Connie up.
That's what I said. I think I think
Yeah.
she's under agreement where she can't leave. But they fired her because of what the rumor is, kind of, because we're going to go back to Sony. They fired her, and then we're going to go back to the end with the games. They fired her because of this mobile space or the games as a service. They have to push into that. But I don't think Sony is good at multitasking. They're so tunnel vision that if you think that Sony can only no, if you think, and I said it again, if gamers think that Sony is going to survive just making one type of game, they're done.
Hmm.
In this
That's not how they
industry,
survived.
you
That's not
have
how they
to.
got to who they are now. They
Well,
made a
you,
plethora of
you
games.
yeah, but you have to be able to pivot. The name of this game, name of any business, is being able to pivot because something may not work the way you want it. Microsoft is solidifying themselves in mobile in all the key areas, and that's what Sony was trying to do. I just think they took on more than they could handle at one time.
Console sales,
And
remember? It's all about console sales.
it really, they're going to sell a gangbusters of consoles this fall, right? And a good percentage of them are going to be Call of Duty. And guess why they sold the Call of Duty ones? Because the mothers who go out there, let's call them soccer moms, are buying it only for Call of Duty. And then guess what? Their children are not playing it. That is based off the mere fact that you only sold 2.5 million copies of Spider-Man. And I told you guys, if it didn't sell 5 million, I'm not impressed. And the only reason it's going to hit 5 million or more is based on one simple fact. It's bundled with the PlayStation 5. Single unit sales will not hit 5 million. And that tells you everything you want to know. And that's why you need games as a service. That's why you need to grow on PC. To me, the silliest thing Sony is doing is not releasing games day and date on PC with console.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep.
You need the
They're
revenue.
exclusive.
No, you need the revenue. You
They're
cannot make
exclusive.
you
And then
cannot
it's gonna bite
make
into their hardware sales.
right. But it's not gonna because you can't make a PC. A diehard PC gamer is not gonna they'll wait.
Hmm. They're waiting
Yep.
for a PC release.
Shoot, I got a long list on friggin' PC.
Especially with Game Pass. If you got a PC, you can subscribe to Game Pass and you can subscribe to or use Steam. You can do all that. So why I can wait,
Yep.
especially with all the bugs. So they're gonna say, "Oh, we'll wait." But speaking of that, so we'll see. But what do you think? Do you think it's a good chance that they'll pull Connie over if she's not under some type of contract that she can't work for a competitor? But they fired her, so I don't know.
I think it'd be a good move for Connie to come on over, especially to run something like ABK.
They're splitting ABK up, and they need
Well,
to.
they can't
ABK
split
Yeah,
is
out
they
too
from
big.
do.
ABK.
That,
They need to
Can't
have
split out
Blizzard.
from it.
They need the head of Blizzard. They need a head of Blizzard. They just waiting for Kotick to leave, and they need a head of Activision. That's what they need. And if you saw that lady resume, she's powerful. And then someone said, "Well, Sony's going to hire the head of Take Two, Strauss Zelnick." I'm like, that's the dumbest comment I've ever seen in my life. Or the head of EA. Why would someone leave a CEO of a company become president of one segment of a company? When Zelnick, I think he's a lawyer.
He's the
He's
he's the
he's a
man.
yeah. Why would he leave that company? And he's making bank
mm, mm,
and
mm.
his stock options.
He like,
Why
yeah,
would I
let me
do
come to a
it?
project
He be
when
getting
I'm doing
he be
well.
getting
Let me
fat.
leave my success to come do a project.
But see, if I was Microsoft at this point right now, I'd go to Strauss because Strauss is a good friend of Phil, and I'd be like, we don't want it for 6 months. We don't want to make it exclusive, though we could. They can make it get Grand Theft Auto and have the rights to it. Not what do you call it? The advertising rights. You don't have to be on gas for Game Pass. Just have the advertising rights for Grand Theft Auto, and they can pay them $100 million, outbid Sony, had the marketing rights. That's what I mean. Marketing rights for the next 2 or 3 years on the next Grand Theft Auto 6, and say tell Sony, uh, let's see who can outbid one another for who's gonna win that fight.
PlayStation don't got no culture, man.
No, but I'm just saying who gonna win the fight. Because if you notice, they had an interview with PlayStation said, yeah, we are just making sure we are developing good opportunities with our other developers because they already to me they said they didn't have any games. So I think they're trying to get the marketing rights to Grand Theft Auto. If I was Phil, I'd say whatever Sony gonna give you, we'll do it 1.5. So if they're gonna give you 100 million, we give you
What-
150 million.
Whatever they do, upgrade.
So all right, let's get to this last topic. What did you guys think about the game third party game preview, partner preview? What do you think about it? What game did you think about the most? What game did you like? What stood out the most? Because I know what everyone's going to say. It's going to only be two games that stood out the most to everyone. So let's start with you, Mega. What game did you like the most? Did you think it was good? Do you think Xbox is going in? First of all, do you think Xbox is going in a good direction by doing these type of partner previews because they're so big now? They can do a show every other month just on games because they have so much. Because Activision can, like BlizzardCon is next weekend. Activision can have their own show. So what do you think?
First of all, I think it's good that they're doing these types of presentations.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like before, at least around like the Xbox One era, they didn't really do those like often.
Because they were treated like the bald headed stepchild, but that's okay.
Okay. But
My nephew said, as a consumer, digital games changed the. Oh, Jazz, I thought you was looking, and one of my buddies said, it's dynamic with my children. I can say, wait till we get to the story more. So they like the digital games. That's from Jazz Talk. Mm,
I, there
and my
was
nephew. Go ahead.
there are two games that interest me, but that's just because I wanted to get into those series for like a long time.
What
And
are the two
that's
games?
like a Dragon and Metal Gear Solid.
Okay. I
Yeah,
knew someone was going to say Metal Gear.
Of course.
Snake
yeah.
eater.
But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
What about you, OG?
Only thing that interests me was the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. Oh, that finals look kind of cool. Serge said he was going to download that and check it out.
Yeah, he did say that. So I'm gonna wait for him to give us some. Oh,
Yeah, those are the two things that stuck out to me. I thought was was pretty cool.
Jazz.
Metal Gear, 'cause I'm a huge fan. The
Hmm.
finals looks dope, and I once upon a time ago did play the mess out of Arc. I'm not
See,
even
I
going.
couldn't get into that. I couldn't. That's the same
It
game
was a
remake.
while
That's not the
ago.
no.
Is
That's the
that Van
remake.
Diesel's arc?
No, that's not that game. No,
The
I was
That's not
wondering why
that
dinosaurs.
we.
one.
That's not. No, that was the old one remade.
Okay, because I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna mention the Yakuza one because y'all know how I feel. I love it. I love the series. I'm just playing them in order.
Okay, good thing you mentioned that because for a while I thought you was about to forget about that. I was about to say, Jazz, what the heck?
About what? Oh no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I'm still on number 4 out of my list. Yeah, those are the ones that stuck out to me. The 4. I have 4.
Okay, Surge.
The Manor Lords in the finals.
Let me think. What did I think? First of all, I think it's a good direction of going with doing these type of shows and just putting them out there, and
Yeah,
especially for the. I think it's going to be more important because they're so big now is to make sure their partners feel that they get the notice, they get the um, attention that they need, and spotlighted as the services grow, as Xbox grows. Those partners need not be forgotten because they're so big now. Well, they're doing big because they have so much content that is pathetic. And you don't want to forget your partners because your partners were there when you weren't that big. So it's imperative that you say, you know what? For no reason in the world am I going to forget my partners. That is imperative. Um, what two games did I like the most? Well, Snake Eater just looked off the chain. It looked good. I'm like, wow. And that's in
Yeah.
that Unreal. It was nice. I just don't. I hope it has the mechanics are a little bit more fluid.
Find it,
If it's,
try it.
I just don't like the fluidity of any of those Metal Gear games. I just think it's too um,
clunky.
mechanical. Yeah, clunky, and I didn't like that. And when you, especially when you do a stealth type game. But what I thought, and I guess I was wrong, and I'll wait till tomorrow to see. I thought Alan Wake 2 looked good, and it's getting reviewed really high. So I thought Alan Wake 2 looked really good. The finals, I'm gonna wait till Serge says what he thinks about it after he downloads it. If he says it's good and fun, I'll download it. Some way till he give me his, because I ain't gonna waste no time. I'm not gonna waste any time downloading something if I know if people don't like it. But I see people are saying that they like it. What I thought was gonna happen because I didn't see it making sense, but I guess I'm wrong. But I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. And I actually thought Alan Wake was going to be a silent drop in Game Pass. Because why would they put that game in Game? I didn't get that they put that in the game late because I thought that was a Sony game. Because
Mm,
Sony advertised that first,
they did. They
and
did
all
advertise it first.
right, and now all of a sudden Microsoft advertised. So in my mind, I was like, wow. Are they going to do a side? And I was just looking, and then all this extra long time, I'm like, I'm waiting for that on Game Pass. So I was like, well, I guess it's not happening. So I was hoping, I'm like, okay, tomorrow it'll silent drop in Game Pass because Phil's going to be like, hey, we didn't give you guys what you wanted because the Activision Blizzard merger took so long. And we love to put things in Game Pass. But I can promise you this if they paid the extra 100 million, because they could get the money they're getting from Sony right now to pay for it through the Call of Duty sales, pay them 100 million. And they could have put that game in Game Pass just for the heck of it.
Hey, still got Christmas coming. Christmas
Well,
coming.
yeah. Well, I was talking about, well, we may wake up in the morning. We're not. This is me speculating, but we may wake up in the morning and around 1 o'clock, Alan Wake free in Game Pass. That's me speculating. I'm wrong, but that's the reason when I saw Alan Wake, I'm like, Alan Wake has to be in Game Pass because why would they have no reason to put that game together. Nothing. I mean to put it on that partner preview. But it was there. So that's what made me think that or come to that conclusion. So those are our topics tonight. Anyone else have anything to say before we do our outros?
No.
That's okay. Well,
Not really.
everyone. Okay, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Like and subscribe. Thank you, uh, Surge, Jazz,
Damn, what a bitch.
Mega, OG guys. Thank you for staying committed every week. Again, everyone, we're trying to grow. So like and subscribe. Pass it to somebody and take the link and share it with somebody because in 30 minutes you can listen to it and have your friends listen to it. Everyone, thank you. Like and subscribe. And where can we find everyone? So let's start with Mega. Where can we find you?
Well, you'll find me every Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time right here on the Gamers DNC podcast. And yep.
Okay, what about you, OG?
You can find me here every Thursday with the rest of the crew. You can also find me on Twitter X. I don't know for how long though. We may have to start paying for that.
Yeah.
Don't know yet, right?
True.
If he has to pay, he gonna lose a lot of people, but I think he wants a penny.
Sure is, but
And
The
which
only,
which
the only new
let me
accounts
get
have
a penny.
to pay or do pre-existing accounts
I
also.
think it's gonna be see
Yes,
this
that
that
across the board.
but see that's not gonna work either because it's not gonna be a penny. You can't even get a transaction fee out of that because the minimum transaction fee, and they're not gonna if they do a transaction fee in the back end, they're paying for the transaction fee.
$2.
And if right, so make that make sense. They said a penny. There's no way in the world because they're going to have to pay the back end transaction fee.
Yeah, because transaction fee has a cost.
Exactly. All right. So, Serge, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me here every week when we have it. Sometimes we take breaks, but we be here as much as possible every Thursday. Um, you can find me on Facebook at Sir Rich Gaming.
Are you streaming this weekend?
Oh yeah, I'll be streaming. I don't know what yet. I thought Cities 2 came out, but I don't see that in Game Pass anymore.
It is. It is. It is.
No, because I don't see that in there no more. I'm like,
It's
where'd it go?
there. I saw it today. I saw it. Trust me, it's there.
Because I was looking forward to download it when I was checking for the finals, and I'm gonna be streaming this weekend. I don't know what yet though. I'm sure something fun that I enjoy. On Twitch, you can find me there at Sir Rich as well. And I believe that's it. Did I say my YouTube? YouTube Sir Rich? Yeah.
Jazz.
You can find me here every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with the rest of the crew. Also on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter X, which I am not
Twitter.
paying for, and YouTube.
Mm.
I pity the fool think I'm gonna give him a penny.
I know that's right.
Someone would be like, delete. Sorry.
Right, I got enough social media.
Gonna be gone like MySpace.
For real.
I know, right?
Ah,
And
that's all.
you can find me here every Thursday with the rest of the crew at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can find me on my Xbox, the One, my PlayStation, the One. I am playing Callisto Protocol when I get a chance. It's pretty good.
Nice.
So
Told you.
yeah, it's pretty good. And what else I'm playing? That's where you can find me. I may stream tomorrow night for a bit.
Yeah, maybe catch you on some Diablo.
We should
Yeah,
get on
that's what I was
some.
about to say in Diablo.
We should get on some
But
Call of
that's
Duty too. Now that I can
and that
play
too. Yeah, I ain't
it.
played that in a minute.
I've been on
Maybe some
I would
fire.
Halo.
love. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I want y'all to get y'all Halo up because we can play some Halo
I
too.
I got it downloaded. I just gotta get on it.
Hmm. Yeah, get because you got to take at least an hour to get your skills back where they need to be. the mechanics
Well,
down. But after that, you're good to go.
I've been playing Destiny, so it's similar.
Yeah, yeah, you similar. So that's where you can find us. That's where you can find me. So on that note, Serge, take us out.
Hey, it's time for everybody to say hello, hello. Hello,
Holla,
everybody.
holla, holla,
Holla,
holla.
Hello, hello, hello,
y'all.
Holla, holla,
hello,
holla,
hello,
holla,
hello,
holla.
hello,
Holler.
Holla, 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 holla.
hello, hello, hello,
Holler.
Holla, 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 holla,
Holler at you. Holler at you, baby. Holler at you. Holler, 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 holler. Holler, 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 holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Baby, holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Holler, 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 holler. Holler at you. Holler at you. Holler, 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 holler. Holler at you. Holler at you. Baby, holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Holler,